If you watched my last video on the Dirty Dozen toxic manager traits, you know how to spot their bad behavior. But today we need to talk about you. When you are dealing with a manager who is inconsistent, unfair, or unsafe, your brain enters survival mode. You try to fix it, you try to hide from it, you try to numb it. But here is the hard truth. The very things that you are doing to feel safe are very likely to be handing your manager ammunition they need to manage you out. I'm Mel. I'm a workplace relationship expert with over 30 years experience in human resources, specializing in employment law. Today I'm fulfilling my promise that I made in my last video. We are going to dismantle the 10 survival modes that can backfire, and I'm going to tell you exactly why they are dangerous. This is when you wake up at 3 a.m. and you're replaying that 10-second interaction you had on Tuesday. You're decoding their emails like they're ancient scriptures. You're drafting a reply, you're deleting it, you're adding a smiley face, you're deleting that. You are trying to find control in these micro details. How does this backfire on you? You are exhausting yourself, and a tired employee makes mistakes. So by overanalyzing everything to avoid failure, you're creating the very performance drop that you're trying to avoid. The next one is hiding. You stop going to the break room and you switch to email-only communication. You are keeping your head down, and it just feels safer to feel invisible, right? You think, if they can't see me, then they can't hurt me. What's the backfire here? Unfortunately, in the corporate world, silence is weaponized. If you start hiding, you are not seen as safe. And that makes it very easy for them to label you as difficult or disengaged or not a team player. Next, we have self-blame. Here's the truth. Confusion thrives under inconsistent leadership. They are being chaotic and you start internalizing this. This is when you start asking yourself, am I the problem? Am I not seeing something here? Am I just not up to this? What's the backfire here? This destroys your executive presence or your confidence. You stop speaking with authority. You start using tentative language. By doing this, you are essentially telling them, you're right, I am not capable. Next up is the emotional protest. It's like the workplace version of the sulk. How this might look is you have this heavy sigh in the meeting. Maybe you're giving them these really short one-word replies. Maybe you're crying in the bathroom and you're hoping that someone will notice. You want somebody to see that you are drowning without you actually having to say the words. The backfire is, to the toxic manager, that doesn't look like pain, it looks like attitude. They will label you as passive-aggressive or moody or even emotionally unstable. Do not give them opportunity to use these labels on you. The next survival mode is revenge fantasies. Now you're spending your commute imagining them getting fired. Maybe you imagine the CEO walking in and escorting them out the door while you watch. And it just feels like justice, right? You get that dopamine hit of power. What's the backfire here? Firstly, don't become them. Secondly, these thoughts are burning your battery, not theirs. You're basically renting out space in your mind to the person you are disliking, giving them power for free. You need that energy for you so you can do your work. The next one is secret vindication. Maybe they make a mistake, maybe a project fails, and then you feel this quiet thrill inside. So you might be thinking, finally, everyone can see what I've been dealing with. Maybe you even smirk a little bit when you find things are going wrong. The backfire here, people can see that smirk. If that ship is sinking and you look happy about it, that's a problem. You're basically losing your moral high ground and it looks petty. It doesn't look professional. The next one is quite important. It's venting to the wrong people. By now, you are sure that there is a problem and you are talking to people about it. So you turn to a colleague and you say, has she done this to you as well? You're calling it sanity checking, but let's be honest. It's called venting. This means you are looking for allies at work. There's nothing wrong with venting, but you need to be doing it outside of work, to people you know and trust, not to your colleagues at work. The backfire here, it's high risk. Anything you say to a work colleague can be repeated back to that manager and can then be used against you. If it gets back to them, you have basically handed them ammunition to call you a gossip. They could even claim that you are the one creating a toxic environment, and that can give them information that can jeopardize your job. It could be a breach of the code of conduct. Number 8 is the reactive pushback. By now, you are ready to snap. You have been poked so many times and then you explode. You might find yourself saying something like, "I gave you what you asked for, stop blaming me." You can see the backfire here, right? You have walked right into their trap. Now they look calm and you look crazy. And now the conversation shifts from their incompetence to your outburst, and you lose. The next one is striking back. This is another call for help, but it's more calculating. Maybe you CC their manager into a correction email. Maybe you forget to remind them about an important deadline and then they lose face. This backfire has a double whammy. If you miss, you look insubordinate. If you hit, you look like a saboteur. This is a high stakes game that usually ends up with the employee leaving their employment, not the manager. The final one, the shutdown. By now, you have gone through so much. You feel like the only option is total radio silence. You completely disassociate. You are physically showing up at work, but the lights are off. Instead of fighting or flighting, it's a freeze response. The major backfire here. In HR terms, this is starting to look like a refusal to work. It's a performance issue. This is the easiest and fastest way to get yourself onto a performance management program. They can even get you with conduct issues. You cannot afford to shut down, okay? Hey, I know that these survival modes feel like a shield, but they are actually weights. And right now they are helping you drown. You need to let them go. You need to put them down. I know that you can't just stop worrying without knowing where you're going with this. What's happening to you? I know you feel lost, but that's why I made this video. You are not lost. You are just stuck. I'm sorry about the dog snoring. You are just stuck in this relationship cycle with this person. In the next video of this Toxic Manager Toolkit, I'm going to be setting out the 8 steps of this life cycle of this relationship, all the way from the hopeful phase to the burn phase. When you see that life cycle, you will see where you are at within it, but you'll also know that it's quite common for there to be a life cycle to these relationships. Then you can see exactly where you are and how to then get out of it. But listen, if you can't wait for that video, that's okay. What you can do is firstly watch the video that preceded this one, which talks about the dirty dozen toxic traits, and then you can download the worksheet that goes along with that video that can help you identify exactly what is busy happening to you right now. You can start today. These are the first steps in swapping your anxiety for some evidence. By the way, if you join my list, I send private videos out to people on that list. Those videos don't appear here on this channel for the public. Their purpose is to help you dive deeper into your situation so you can work through this problem that you have. Take care. I'm thinking of you.